On this episode, exciting NASCAR Sprint Cup race action is coming this weekend from Imola. Oh, here, what's that, Harrison?
No, nothing.
No. It's the first sprint race for Formula One. They're doing that again. Oh man. Okay, well, it's the first sprint race and nothing else really happened. So this is the Track Limits podcast. How was that? You like that? Good.
Good intro there. I like that.
Awesome, fantastic. My name is
I
Taylor.
thought I was on the wrong show for a second.
Yeah, please don't adjust your podcast. That was a joke. And this is the Track Limits podcast. My name is Taylor. I'm joined here as always by my friend Harrison.
Hello.
We've got a great show for you today. If by great show, it means it could be short and sweet. Don't know. Check the time code at the end of your podcast and you'll know how long it is. Because this is the first sprint race from Imola. And there have been some changes. The first of three, Austria and Brazil, the other two. There have been some changes that we can go through. But Harrison, first off, how was your weekend? Did you have a nice weekend?
It was great. After you asked me that, I tried to think back through what happened this weekend. But then I forgot.
Wonderful.
It was Easter. It was Easter. Went to a couple dinners, couple family things. How was yours? What'd you do?
It was very nice. I had a couple family things here as well.
Wow, look at us.
You know, did you have honey baked ham?
Not honey baked ham, but we did have some baked ham.
Gotta have ham.
We had straight off the farm ham.
Wow.
I don't
fresh.
Think it was.
Farm fresh. It's nice.
No, I really don't think it was.
Did you have, well, never mind. Anyway.
No, did I have what?
I was going to say like bacon or, but just
on
ham.
We had ham, potatoes, mac and cheese.
Wow. Ooh,
it was like a real Thanksgiving vibe going. And then we had seafood the night before with my family.
And you're a huge seafood fan.
I am, but I have to say the place, I won't name names because I don't want to but the place we went to was a well-known place here in our town and a very I don't know, people love it. It's a high to-do place. Not worth the price.
Okay,
I'll say that.
I'm gonna write down what I think it is and we can discuss that later.
Yeah,
but how about
it was good. It was good, but it was a bit pricey for value.
They aren't listening to this.
Well, you never know.
F1 Sprint, a little bit different. For those of you who don't know, I'll do a quick run through. I think that'd be a good way to start, right, Harrison?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
We've got it's a different format, folks. For those of you who don't know what a sprint race is, I'm assuming actually it's not even a sprint race. They can't use race. It's just sprint. F1 Sprint.
Sprint. Weren't they using sprint qualifying for a while?
Yes. Now they don't have that. So you got two practices. Friday, you've got qualifying. Saturday, you've got sprint. And then Sunday, you've got the race. And now qualifying, a big change. Qualifying is now the pole position.
For the sprint.
But it is considered in their records as getting pole.
And there's not the awkward practice in between.
No. Also, 8 positions instead of 3 get points. So more points up for grabs because that's what everybody wanted was more points. No stops necessary. It's going to be great here in
just
Imola.
Pure racing.
Just pure racing with absolutely nothing happening. And guess what happens after that? That just determines the start for the next race, folks.
But to add some fuel to the fire, it's supposed to rain.
Oh, is it?
There is rain in the forecast all weekend. Will it actually rain? It rained last year.
Okay, so we got rain at Imola, and then the following week we are in Miami. And as anybody who or not the following week, the following race week, so it's 2 weeks. As anyone who has lived or visited Florida knows, you'll just get that random rain shower in the middle of the day. So
you could.
could we have 2 races back to back?
I hope not.
Rain?
I mean, not to skip ahead, but I feel like I'd be pretty sad to see a brand new track in Miami and it rain. But that's, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Also talking about Miami, because we're skipping ahead to Miami.
Yeah, who cares about Imola?
They just put out the what is it? It's not track pass, but basically it's general admission tickets, and they're like $1,200 for the weekend, which is more than people pay for the seats during the pre-sale. So what's happening? They're 100% raising the price after seeing how big demand was after the
people will
pre-sale.
pay it.
Just want to say, because I know people will pay it. Now imagine.
Hey, but what happens when the petition goes through from the residents to block the race and there is no race?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
What if it did?
What if it
Anyways,
did? They would move it. They'd ask Lewis where he wants it to go. And he'll say, I want it to go anywhere else.
We're going to Imola this weekend.
Yeah, we are. Here's what I have written down for Imola. Italian. And
hey, that's what they call inside.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
That's it. I have nothing else to add.
Oh,
Continue.
okay.
What were you saying?
No, I mean, last year was a pretty good race. It rained. It was exciting. Well, a few things happened. The George Valtteri incident. Lewis runner off, but coming back. Lando on podium.
Is everyone smack heads again?
Oh, no, they won't. They love each other now. Everybody's friends.
So Ferrari, another 1-2. You gonna think of 1-2? Not another 1-2, but 1-2.
No, I don't think they will.
Oh, really?
I don't think it'll be a 1-2. I think if Red Bull will figure out their woes this weekend.
With the sprint race right before, reliability issues. They got a sprint race right before.
Yeah, well, if you ask Helmut Marko, it wasn't anything to do with the engine.
Okay, it just stopped working.
It was something else.
They need to jumpstart the car
or something. Yeah, I mean, listen,
just need to push.
Even though I'm reading a headline right here that says Red Bull downplays the talk of the big F1 upgrade package for Imola. I feel like they might figure it out. I don't think it's going to be a Ferrari 1-2, even though it'd be cool to see Ferrari 1-2 in at the track in closest proximity to their facility, named for a prominent name in the Ferrari family. Some would say the prominent name in the Ferrari family, aka the Ferrari family. Yeah. Hey, wouldn't it be cool to stay in one of those houses right there along the track? Yeah, I was looking at it today on the map. I don't think we realize, because in America, like racetracks and stuff are like so closed off. Right. Now, granted,
more like stadiums.
Yeah, most of them are ovals with concrete in the middle. So why in the world would you want to go in the middle of them? But there's like parks and stuff on the inside of Imola, houses, a little park. There's statues. There's houses all around. It would be cool to stay there and just, even if there's not a race going on, just to be at the track right there. Would be pretty cool. Have a little bed and breakfast. Maybe we invest in that.
Maybe this is how we go to a race. My wife wants to go to Italy, so
yeah, there's a vineyard.
Let's just go. I want a vineyard. Ooh.
Now, will you be able to stay there during the race weekend without paying hundreds of thousands of dollars? Who knows?
Chump change, my good man. Have you seen our budget here at Track Limits? Just
it's
right as
$0.
Business expense. Still operating at a loss.
True.
Anyway, yeah, cool. Anything else you want to say about Imola?
It'll be interesting.
I'm all ears.
It'll be interesting to see the sprint race. I mean, the sprint.
Get that right.
Just as first one of the year. I think one thing that will be a constant theme this year will be the intrigue of what teams bring as an upgrade package week to week. So will we see McLaren take another step forward, or they step backward? Will Mercedes refine their pace? We already talked about Red Bull's reliability. Will Haas come back to where they were 2 weeks ago? Who's going to make the next step? Will Aston Martin do literally anything to be able to score a point? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Aston Martin. Do you think Aston Martin scores a point this week?
No.
Okay, continues on. McLaren both finished in Q3. Was it based on the tracks, or is this actually going to?
This is going to be a big test of it. I mean, Lando is what? 2 to 3 inches away from probably second place in qualifying last year. If his lap doesn't get deleted, then he finishes on the podium. So will they have the same pace they had last year? Probably not. But will they have more than they had in Bahrain? That's the real question.
Haas and the points.
I mean, Ferrari's home track, so I think they would hope, but Haas is like a tricky situation now because we got our hopes up for those in those first two races with Kevin Magnussen's performance. And then Mick has that huge wreck and it kind of set the team back. But
all right, I
don't know.
Okay, because I have nothing else here because it was a very slow week. Let's talk hypotheticals. Okay. Max gets another DNF. What's your reaction?
I don't know that I would have a reaction, like a big reaction. Like it'd be like, oh man, what? But to me, the whole, I mean, granted, we're in the fourth week. We're in the fourth week of the season. It's almost like, last year Mercedes was having their struggles, and you always knew they're going to be back. They're going to be back, and they were. It's almost kind of like that with Max and Red Bull because Checo's doing well, and then it's like, okay, at some point they're going to figure it out and he's going to be unstoppable. So if he doesn't finish this next race, maybe there's a bigger issue, but at the same time, it's like they're going to figure it out at some point and he's going to be winning.
That's fair.
I have a hypothetical based on my segment of read the news headlines.
And I love it. Let's hear it.
This is a hypothetical we were just talking about Haas. This headline from Planet F1, no idea if they're a legitimate source. Nikita Mazepin to look for Formula One return after career hiatus. How do you feel, and what are your thoughts on a Nikita Mazepin return? Would you welcome it? Would you be excited for it? Would you hate it? Collective groan from the audience.
I just don't think that he was that good to begin with. I mean, that's my issue. I think there are other deserving drivers who do not have a seat currently. Nikita Mazepin got there. I'm not even talking about the Russia situation, but if I wanted to look at skill, he was there because his seat was basically, his seat was bought for him. Now look at it. I don't know how he would perform now. I mean, if Kevin wasn't there and it was, he was driving that car, I guess we'll never know that. But I'm willing to say that it's probably going to be about the same. So that's my thought on it.
I'm not sure there is outside of the country that is Russia. I don't know that I would say a single person would say we want Nikita Mazepin back.
Yeah.
Now, here's a thought. I know that F2 is a spec series, right? But what if, hypothetically, the best team at the end of the year gives the FIA their car, right? Gives them the spec, the FIA builds a car. They build two of them. They spend the money. They build two of them. And every year they take all of the F2 drivers, all of the F1 drivers, put them in that car. They run a few laps at whatever track, take the best times. It's like a draft. And then teams just can say, okay, we don't want Lewis Hamilton in our car. We want Oscar Piastri ran a better time in that car. What if we did that? That would be a spectacle. It'd be like, obviously, your Lewis Hamilton, your Sebastian Vettel's, Max Verstappen, established drivers, they don't take part. But, your fringe drivers like Nikita Mazepin, your Mick Schumachers, they all have to go head to head, and then teams just pick what they want. Now, granted, it's kind of the same thing already, but hey, wouldn't that be a spectacle?
Let's have a relegation format.
Put them in the best car because Nikita Mazepin's argument is going to be, I was in the worst car. Of course, I'm not going to be good. But if you put him in the best car for a week, and say, okay, you've had a week to learn this car and you're still not better than somebody else who had a week. What do you do?
I don't say that works, but it'd be fun. I liked my relegation idea.
How would the relegation work?
Just like soccer, just treat it like the Premier League.
So the bottom
three one, go back to F2.
So Haas goes to F2, and then whoever in F2 is the top team.
As long as they're not in, treat it like the World Cup, though. You can't have the World Cup does it where based on your
can't be in the same group as your country.
Division country, whatever you.
Why we'd run into problems there, but yeah, you'd have to have.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't work at all. But it's something.
You'd have to have some
time
more
on
teams.
the show.
You just have to have some more teams.
I know.
It's gonna be a killing time. This is completely off topic, and if you're watching, you'll understand why I'm saying this. But I got this smart water today, and it's flavored.
I didn't know they do that now.
Did not either.
Do you remember like Propel Fitness Water?
They still make that. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that was all the rage back when we were in school. Everybody had that Propel.
Yeah, you gotta have the flavored water, but it's flavored, but it doesn't taste any different than regular water. It just smells different. It's like they the plastic smell like it, and then the water itself is just water.
Like the water has just like well, that's because they just took the fruit or whatever flavoring, just rubbed it on the outside of the bottle.
That's honestly what it smells and feels like. I mean, it's got a little bit of flavor, but
maybe you just can't taste. Have you thought about that? Oh no.
No, because I can taste the Pepsi that I was drinking. Also been on a big Pepsi.
Really? Pepsi
zero sugar. Normally I'm a Coke guy, but I was on a Pepsi. I was craving some Pepsi.
All right. This is sponsored by Honey Baked Hams, Smart Water, and Pepsi.
Jeff Gordon would be proud of me. Anyways, hey, that was another thought I had with your intro. Because we're, obviously we don't have much to talk about.
We love to say it. We love to talk about how much we don't have to talk about.
Yeah, your intro about NASCAR. They were on the dirt this weekend. Imagine we put some Formula One cars. Now, granted, they're not designed to do this, but we put some Formula One cars out on some dirt. Who do you think is going to win the race if you put them on dirt?
If you put them on dirt, Daniel Ricciardo.
Why do you say that?
I have no idea their dirt driving abilities, but I imagine that probably karting. He kind of drove around in the Australian bush and has experience.
He was in the outback.
He was in the outback. He was in the Survivor of the Australian outback, and he.
Interesting take.
Learned, yeah.
I would have thought, Carlos Sainz because his dad's a rally car driver.
That would make more sense, yes.
Or just Max because he's incredible, but
or Max,
interesting. Yeah, that's just a fun thought. Races. What if you put Formula One cars on dirt?
What if you put them all on in Bristol?
They'd be so.
Imagine the.
I feel like they'd be so slow terrible. Though. They'd be so slow because they don't do well
first gear the entire time.
Yeah, and there's no way to get out. Like they would get to speed and then they just have to slow down really hard on those turns. Or I mean, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they just fly around there.
I need to keep playing Gran Turismo 7, also a proud sponsor of Not This Podcast, because they have a track that's not Bristol, but it is Bristol. One of those things.
The tight circle. I know which one you're talking about.
And
but the really wide high.
Yeah, and it's got and it's all surrounded, so it's definitely Bristol. But I've wanted to unlock the Formula One car and
try
drive it around.
It'd be like having an Indy car there.
Yeah, I think it's still on there. I'm pretty sure it's on there. I'm pretty sure it's Lewis's car. He's the maestro after all.
They have something on there.
Cool.
Wouldn't know. I don't own the game.
No, go ahead and get it. Then we can, race online.
With all our free time.
Well, I mean, we'd have to quit our jobs.
True. But I would if I got paid for it.
Okay. Folks, go on over to our Twitch, and I need you to watch us play games. We'll read your comments on the air. And that's it. That's our business plan. I guess everyone just gives us money. Is that how it works?
I think that's how it works. You just ask for money and you get money.
Wow. Amazing. All right, Harrison, I'm giving this to you. Anything else you want to mention about next week's race, or you got something?
No, it'd be nice if we had some crazy insight into the world of Formula One and what was going to happen.
But we don't.
But we don't. We're not in connections
yet. Well, it's also it's Easter. Nobody's really doing anything,
and not a lot. Happened.
There you go, folks. This episode is called "Not a Lot Happened."
I don't know what went on this week. It was a pretty quiet week. Everybody was just enjoying time away before we get into the grind of a bunch of travel.
Did you follow it all with Lando's AMA on Reddit?
I watched the video. The thing with those is that it's always the same questions that he can answer. Or I don't know. Lando's pretty good about being actually being honest.
Did you like that? Lando said in the 3 years he'd been in Formula One, he never spoke a word to Kimi.
I think that's funny, but also not shocking. It seems like unless you're his teammate, he's not really going to talk to you. Kimi, that is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Anyway.
Interesting time.
I didn't watch the 11-minute thing. I just read through the comments.
I watched it. There's a lot of like, he talked about his quadrant a little bit. There wasn't much like, there wasn't a lot to it, if that means anything to you. And then I sat and watched him build a Lego car to stream the other day while I was working. Exciting times going on in Formula One, let me tell you.
Well, I mean, it seems like all the tracks are now selling out. This is like the boom of Formula One.
True. They did say that, they said they were expecting every race to be sold out this year.
Silverstone, I saw, just said they were sold out.
It's everything, especially, I think we're in a sweet spot now, especially with COVID, that we're at that time where everybody couldn't do anything for so long. And now it's like, okay, we didn't do anything for 2 years. Let's do everything we can. And the wanting to get back out there. So I think there's going to be record-setting crowds at every race.
Record-setting crowds, probably record-setting TV performances, and non-record-setting podcast downloads. Here on the Track Limits Podcast, you can follow us at Track Limits Pod on Twitter and Instagram, or email us tracklimitspod@gmail.com. Lando Norris was mentioned in this episode. And leave mean comments for the Stewards. Be sure to check out what we're about to record, our Track Limits Off Limit. Oh, hold on. It's called Off Track. It's the bonus episode. We have special guest Wrenchel joining us this week, so be sure to check that out. You can also see our regular episodes on YouTube. Harrison, any parting thoughts?
No, just excited to finally have a race to talk about.
A sprint, non-race. Can't wait. Until then, see y'all next time. Bye.